The relationship patterns I keep repeating and why. For a long time, I noticed the same patterns in my relationships, but I couldn't understand why they kept showing up. I'd attract similar types of people, face familiar conflicts, or fall into predictable roles, giving too much, withdrawing too quickly, or avoiding difficult conversations. Over time, I realized that the patterns weren't random. They were reflections of unhealed parts of myself and the beliefs I carried from past experiences. One pattern I noticed was overextending myself to gain approval or avoid conflict. This often left me feeling drained, unseen, or resentful. It stemmed from an old belief that my worth depended on making others happy, which I'd learned in childhood or past relationships. Recognizing this helped me understand that I wasn't failing in the moment. I was repeating learned coping strategies. Another pattern was rushing intimacy or pulling away when vulnerability felt unsafe. Fear of rejection or abandonment created cycles where I'd either overinvest too quickly or build walls too soon. Understanding the source of these fears, past hurts, unmet needs, or unresolved trauma, allowed me to pause before reacting automatically. Awareness became the first step toward breaking the cycle. The why is always rooted in the self. We attract or recreate dynamics that mirror unresolved emotions or beliefs within us. Patterns are signals, not punishments. They reveal what we need to heal, accept, or change about ourselves. I've learned that growth comes from noticing the patterns, reflecting on their origins, and making intentional choices rather than reacting out of habit. Breaking patterns doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, self-compassion, and courage. But every time I recognize a familiar trigger, pause, and respond differently, I create space for healthier dynamics. I begin to show up as a fuller, more authentic version of myself, which naturally changes the relationships I attract and nurture. The relationship patterns I repeat are not flaws. They're mirrors. Understanding why they exist allows me to choose growth, set boundaries, and cultivate connections that reflect the person I'm becoming, rather than the fears I once carried.